Yo, what is up, you guys? It is your boy, HamzaConnection, coming at you live. Welcome to the Journey Podcast, hence the name Journey Podcast. I'm about to share something on my journey. So, I want to go back some time because now I think I've been doing yoga for like half a year, almost. Like, no. I think I've been doing it for half a year, almost half a year ish. And this is the thing. This is the thing. I want to take you way back, way back to my first time doing yoga, and I want to tell you about the experience. And that can hopefully encourage you to try and do the same, maybe. But I'm gonna give you my first experience with yoga. So first of all, let me give you a little background. I I like working out and all of that stuff, and I knew that hey, it was important to stretch because I had some tight areas and stuff like that. So some of the areas I knew. So I wanted to try yoga. So for the first time, I went in. There's like a classroom with a lot of people. I noticed that there wasn't a lot of guys there. Actually, I can't remember how many guys there were, but there probably was just one or two. So, so that was the first time I tried yoga. That was the first time I tried yoga. I was like, whoa. And maybe I'm mixing up my first or my second time, but anyway, let's just assume that it was my first time, even though it might have been the second time. But the second time is probably interesting. It's probably a lot of interest. But I'm gonna title it my first time anyway. This is the thing. I went in. There wasn't a lot of guys. There was a lot of girls. And some of them, yeah, some of them looked decent and stuff like that. Some of them didn't. And but I was not there for the girls. Believe it or not, I was not there for the girls. No, actually, I was more there to try yoga, to try and expand and try something new that I haven't tried before and see does this resonate with me. So went in, all of that stuff, took my mat, a little bit of confusion because what are you supposed to have? So you were supposed to have a mat and on one of these yogi blocks. I had no idea there was something called a yogi block. Basically, it's just a block. It's just a plastic sort of foam block that you use to get into harder positions if you don't have the flexibility generally. So basically, I went in, I was like kind of confused. Oh, you need this, and then I went over. I tried to sit in the front row because I like that. I like to be like in the front, not in the back hiding. So I was like, yeah, let's go to the front, and I went to the front. I still do that to this day, even half a year after, because I like the front instead of hiding in the back. You can almost hear the yoga teacher and all that stuff. I recommend you if you try it for the first time, go in the front. And she actually noticed me at first, like the yoga teacher. She was like, any new faces here? And I raised my hand. And then she asked me basically, have you tried yoga before? And I was like, nope, never tried it. So she was like, with a, with a smile on her face, well, you got something to look forward to. and, and yeah, we did the yoga session, all that stuff. I had been meditating prior to that, so it was so because of the meditation, it was like you were supposed to breathe and stuff like that. She guided you, instructed you, and all that stuff. It was all cool. So I tried to maintain my focus and stuff like that. And it's sort of almost like I feel like I remember it like this. I got into like a little flow. So I was like, yeah, I was really relaxing and stuff like that. And then we had to do this chest stretch. So basically, you take a foam roller and you put it behind you in the back, just below your shoulder blades. And then you lie down on it and put your hands over your head. And then you just lie down. And I was like, shit, that fucking shit hurt. And the first type of yoga I tried was yin yoga. So basically this yin yoga is where you hold the poses for up to 5 minutes. sometimes even longer. But this pose, I had no idea how much, but it felt like we held it for quite a while. But I remember feeling like, shit, I never tried to stretch out this way with my chest. And I remember it was so hard, but I knew in myself, in my mind, I told myself, this hurts. It must be good. It must be really good because it hurts in a good way. It hurts in a way where it stretches the muscle. So we stayed there for a couple of minutes. It felt a lot longer for me, but we stayed there for a couple of minutes. And something happened during that pose. I relaxed a little bit more. And then we had to do something called Shavasana. Basically, it's where you lie flat down on the floor and palms facing up. And at the start of the yoga class, you were supposed to lay down flat on the floor, right? And see how that felt. So she was like trying to remember how that feel. Or I can't remember if she said trying to remember how that feel. But I laid down. I knew how it felt to lay down normally for my body. But after that stretch and we laid down on the floor in Shavasana, I just felt so amazingly calm. I just realized like it's like I had so much a new body awareness. I was like, whoa, my chest, my shoulder blades, they were more relaxed, and I felt like a part of my back that usually doesn't hit the floor, it hit it. It was like I was sinking more into the floor than I did first time before, like in the start of the yoga lesson compared to the end of the yoga lesson. I could relax so much better, and it felt so much better. I was like, shit, this is crazy. I remember thinking, like laying down, I was like, whoa, this is amazing. It feels wonderful. I didn't even know I was that tight when I started. I had no idea that I was this tight. I had no idea that I needed to stretch the muscles and that I could get such a relief from doing that. In that pose, I was like, shit. It is crazy. I had no idea I stored so much tension in my chest. Although I knew my chest was tight, and I tried to stretch it sometimes, but this stretch at that amount of time, coupled with the breathing, boy, I have to say, boy, it felt amazing. And I was like, shit, I didn't even know I had this problem. So what yoga did for me that first day or that second day was I realized that shit, I didn't even realize I had the problem. I didn't even realize that I was this tight and that I was feeling bad before. Because now I'm feeling way better. So I must have not felt as good as before. And I had no clue because I thought like this was normal. And then I suddenly get this new stage of being like, my body, I can sort of stand up. I can sort of, like, I'm not saying stand up. I sound like Jesus just resurrected me. Oh my God, man. No, I'm just, like, basically just lying down. It felt different. Standing up, it felt different. I was so relaxed on my upper body. It was so amazing. I still recall it, like, the contrast. And that contrast there that I experienced, not because I read about it, not because I did that and all that stuff, but I experienced the contrast. And that motivated me to get into my body more and keep on doing yoga. Now, let me just be completely transparent with you guys. That was like, I think it was the first or the second day. I can't remember, but it was one of those 2 days. And I'm not exaggerating when I tell you this, that it felt so amazing, and it was like a whole new world opening up for me. I did not think I had that problem I realized I had the problem, and I realized I stretched it, and it felt amazing. It felt amazing. Obviously, we did a lot of other stretches, right? And sometimes it requires like body awareness to really feel into the various different things. Now we're skipping like the first day or 2 days and going more into somebody who has been doing it for like half a year now. And I'm still like very inexperienced and stuff, but half a year basically it was been for the first couple of months. I think I did 3 times a week, and then now I've turned it down to twice a week because I wanted to focus on my other training and stuff like that as well. So I basically every yoga session I go to now, it's not all the stretches that I can feel makes this substantial difference. All right. So basically, that stretch right there, that was a key stretch for me. That was a key stretch for my chest. So I've been bench pressing a lot. I like to bench press heavy weights. But that stretch really, really helped me a lot. But not all the stretches helped me. I realized some of them are like, it doesn't give that same response. Like, I really have to focus in on how my body was before and how my body is now to really feel the difference after like each class. But that stretch, I felt that after that class. I was like, shit. And some of the stretches, like you don't feel them as much. You don't feel them as much. It's like it doesn't make a huge difference. But I still have to this day some stretches I can do, and I can be like, especially like in the lat area, because of all the pull-ups and stuff like that, and deadlifts and stuff. I can like there's one side of me that's like, oh shit, when I stretch that doing this yoga stretch, I'm like I can feel it's tight, and afterwards I can just feel a relief on that side. And I'm like, oh, that relief is crazy. Also, another thing is, after you've done your yoga set, I usually tend to like do this. I actually also recommend it. Go ahead, do your workout before your yoga class. Now you've done your workout, now you warm and all the stuff, and then go into the yoga class, and then do yoga. At the end, when you're lying down, you've been working your muscles because of the workout, and you've been doing yoga, yin yoga, for instance. Like you also work the muscles in yoga. It depends on what kind of yoga. But you go in and you work out, you do yoga, and afterwards, like at the end, usually the classes that I've been to had different teachers. They finish it off with lying in Shavasana. I've not tried every yoga, so I have no idea if they always do that. But basically, lying down in Shavasana, and this is the posture I get. You lie down flat on the ground, palms facing up, and then you close your eyes, and oh, it is so nice. Like some of the times, because it's the noon and stuff like that, I just feel like sleeping. I just feel like sleeping afterwards. I'm so relaxed and tired in my body that I just feel like sleeping. Like right there on the spot. It's an amazing, relaxing feeling. It's an amazing, relaxing feeling. Also notice, like I remember I tried something totally new, something called functional training. It was really hard. It was the first day, and it was also a lot of conditioning work and stuff like that. I'd throw heavy balls and do kettlebells and stuff like that. It was fucking funny, man. It was outside as well. It was nice outside in the sun, man, the grass and stuff like that. From the heavy ball and yeah, man, it was just it was fun, man. But after that, it was my first time, so I was like dead afterwards. And I had already booked a yoga class afterwards, and I was just so tired. And we did the yoga, and I was like, oh fuck, man, I almost don't feel like it, but I did it anyway. I'm so proud, fucking happy, because after I did that yoga, when we were supposed to lie down, I was so tired from the prior training that it felt so amazing. I remember it to this day. It's like, fuck, man, it felt so amazing. I was so tired and all that stuff. I was like, oh, nice. I love that relaxation feeling because most of the time we don't take the time to actually really, really relax our body like totally and completely. You can say you're relaxing when you're watching a movie, but and I can watch a movie and relax, but it's a different sort of relaxation. You know what I mean? Because when you relax, you're closing your eyes, your body, and all that stuff. It's like you're relaxing your mind and you're relaxing your body. It just feels amazing. That's one of the motivators why I want to do yoga. And also another thing is like my posture. I noticed that it has improved, that it is way easier to have a forward. I noticed myself. I was like, let me just notice my posture real quick while I'm doing this podcast. And I was like, whoa, it's cool, it's good. Well, beforehand, I would have like more rounded shoulders and stuff like that. Now it's a lot easier to keep the shoulders back, stand up straight, and all that stuff. Obviously, I'm not perfect yet. I'm not perfect yet, but I will be. But right now, it is like looking back half a year from the first yoga class to now. Yeah, it's really really cool. It's really cool. It's something that I don't regret doing, especially for my body. I encourage you really to go ahead and experience with it and try it out for yourself. You may have some tight spots that you don't know about, but I would highly encourage you because I was like this. I was like, I'm gonna try. I think I said to myself, I'm not gonna do only one lesson. I'm gonna give it a shot. So I'm gonna try it for 2 weeks and then see if it's something for me. But I was already sold on the first lesson. Now I had a couple of yoga lessons, right? So there are some of them I feel like, depending on the teacher and what we're doing, I feel like they're not as beneficial for me. So I think if I had started out with those type of lessons, or if I had started out with something crazy hard, because some of the lessons are really crazy hard, depends on the teacher and the level and on the day, but it's different levels. And some of the hard levels, I almost felt like giving up. I was like, fuck, man, I can't do this. And I felt demotivated and seeing other people being able to reach this far down and me not being able to reach this far down and stuff like that. And some sitting postures that just seems normal for other people, but I was like, for me, it was like, fuck, it was hard. So don't give up because the postures that I couldn't do before, I can do now. The postures that I couldn't do before, I can do now. Like sitting on my toes and my knees and stuff like that. I can't, I don't even know what the posture is, but basically my ankles were not that flexible at all before I started yoga. Now I can sit there for way longer. It's still a little bit painful, but I can sit there for way longer. At the start, it was crazy hard. Like I couldn't sit there. I was like ah. I couldn't. So it improves. It improves. It's a gradual improvement. But if you remember how you started and now, I even remember when yoga teacher was like, "Oh, you can do this now." I remember when you started, you couldn't even like touch the ground with your booty. Oh my god, man! He's so funny, man. But basically, I was like, "Wow, I've reached far. I reached far. Like I still have places to go, but I've reached far in just this half a year doing it. Yeah, 3 times a week first couple of months, and then 2 times a week rest of the month. And I'm like, wow, it feels amazing, and I feel like it actually also improves my posture, my well-being, my body and stuff like that. And this improvement is good, and it makes you more body aware. Like I know for me right now, after training, I feel more into my body, so I can tell you right now that my lats, my lower lats, are like really tight, and my the middle of my back, my mid back, basically is also really tight because of the workouts. I feel like yeah, my shoulders No, my rear delts, no, front delts. It's called front delts are also really tight. I could use some stretching towards that, and it makes you so much more aware of your body. I feel like my experience was really good, and it's really enhanced my life because me being able to be more comfortable in my body, being able to stand more straight with using less effort and stuff like that, signals more confidence, signals more posture. I still have some things that I'm working on. For instance, I have a little bit of forward head posture and stuff like that. I really want to train so it gets back. I don't know if yoga will do that for me at least, but yoga has done quite a lot for the other things. But the other point I wanted to make now, I remember the one other point I wanted to make is give it at least 2 weeks. Give it at least 2 weeks because then you can see and try different teachers as well. Because I remember my first teacher, I loved her. It was cool because she gave me that experience with that chest stretch. But I noticed most of her lessons, I like them, they're cool. But there's this other teacher, she is really, really next level. She's really like shit. She's really good. She's really good. And I like some of her stretches. I like more her type of yoga than my first teacher. But my first teacher, she showed me that. So she will always be like special for me. At least because she brought me into that world. And she also has some stretches that the other yoga teachers doesn't have. So by trying different yoga teachers, you can sort of see what you resonate with more. And also trying different types of yoga. Because some of it, it's not like, for me, the relaxation, the things, holding, stretching for longer, I love that part. I love that part. Like basically, I love that part. I'm like, shit, that's amazing. And that's more like a form of relaxation, yoga and stuff like that. I also do hatha yoga. I also done hatha yoga. And that's more like dynamic. Basically, it's not like you're sitting down holding stretcher for longer. It's like there's a flow to it. So I tried like two different types of yoga. I think three because I also tried vinyasa yoga. I think they called it. But I really didn't know the difference between vinyasa and hatha yoga. So I'm like, I have no idea what's the difference. But anyway, I digress. It was an amazing experience, and I highly encourage you guys to go out and try yoga for yourself and see for yourself. That was it for this episode. If you like this episode, hit the like button for me and subscribe if you want to stay tuned for more. That was my experience, and let me know actually if you guys have done yoga. If you haven't done yoga, let me know in the comment section down below, and I catch you on the next one.